My husband is mad, I celebrate my late aunt's birthday. For some context, I, 24 female, didn't have the best relationship with my parents. My mother and father divorced when I was extremely young. Needless to say, they weren't very good co-parents. My mom was an alcoholic, and my father did drugs. My aunt, who wasn't my aunt by blood, but was my grandma's best friend, took care of me most of the time when I would have to stay with my father. She would constantly make me feel loved and taken care of. She would always have fun activities planned for us to do together, such as making bead bracelets and bead art, making other jewelry and painting. I loved being with her because there was never a dull moment. When I was in 5th grade, my mom got clean and got full custody over me. We ended up moving towns, and I never really saw my father again. It got extremely difficult to see my aunt, but as I got older and could drive, I started seeing her more again. Fast forward to 2021, my aunt passed away due to lung issues. I had not seen her in years because I was working and was dating my husband, 25 million, in 2020. I felt extremely guilty that I hadn't seen her in so long. Once I was told about the disease, I immediately went to see her in hospice. I went and saw her twice, and the last day I saw her, she passed away holding my hand. I was extremely broken. My aunt's birthday is on September 15th. Ever since she passed away, I've always made her favorite flavored cake, sang happy birthday, and blown out candles for her. This is my way of showing appreciation and love for my aunt. But my husband's sister's 12th floor birthday is also on the same day. I love his sister and always spend the majority of the day with her. At the end of the night, I do go home to bake the cake for my aunt. This makes my husband furious. Anytime I ask him if he would like to join me, he always angrily declines and says his sister is more important. I totally understand and leave by myself. He sent me a text saying, "I'm not coming home tonight." And I respond, "I love you. Be safe." I wake up this morning to see all of his stuff from the apartment gone, along with a text saying, "You are extremely selfish, and leaving a 12-year-old on her birthday for a dead person isn't okay. I will be contacting a divorce lawyer." I immediately started crying as my husband knew how much my aunt's death impacted me. He also knew I would celebrate before even marrying me. I am more angry than sad right now that I let this man destroy my life over me wanting to bake a cake for my aunt. The relationship never had any huge issues, and yes, he would get annoyed every year, but it was never to this extent. Needless to say, it's only been a few hours, but I am okay with him wanting to divorce me, as I don't need to be with someone who can't accept me making a damn cake because I will not stop. Update. For some context to the first story, some people were saying I was prioritizing the dead over the living. This is not true. I work extremely early in the morning for work, so I'm usually in bed by 8:30 p.m. Depending on the day of the week my SIL birthday lands on, I go straight to her after work. Or, if I'm not working, then early in the morning. Even on days we are just visiting my husband's family, we usually leave around 8 p.m., so I can get home and get ready for work. His family lives not even 5 minutes away from us. Whenever I make the cake for my aunt on her birthday, I still leave at 8 p.m. and just go to bed a little later. I do not prioritize my aunt over my SIL. I also have gone to grief counseling as it's always been hard for me to process a loss. My counselor was the one who made the recommendation to do nice contribution to her every now and then. So for everyone saying the way I'm coping is unhealthy and a ritual, thanks, but I'd rather listen to the professional. Now onto the update. After I posted the original post, I contacted a family friend who is a divorce attorney. After a few hours after the text from Raiden, husband's name, I decided to text him back. I understand. I have hired a divorce attorney. This clearly made him shit his pants, as not even 5 minutes later, he came back home. He started saying he was just drunk and didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't say a word. He kept saying he was sorry and he didn't mean it. I told him to go back to his parents' house. He kept begging as he left. He then started blowing up my phone with the same apology. After about 20 minutes, I received a call from his mother. His mom loves what I do for my aunt and has asked to join me a few years ago. She called me saying she just had a conversation with her son and wants to know why I'm leaving him because he didn't join me in making the cake. I just started laughing and sent her the screenshots of his texts last night. He tried to lie and say I was the one wanting a divorce. His mom was extremely shocked and said she will call me later. Around an hour later, his mom came knocking on my door. She gave me a hug and said she was sorry. I let her in and gave her a cup of coffee. We sat down and she told me that after she confronted Raiden after seeing the texts, he started saying that he gets angry when I celebrate because I don't need my family since we have his. I do not talk to my mom that often, but when I do, he gets extremely defensive and insecure about it. Now I know why. He also told her that he threatened to divorce me as a way for me to say I'll stop celebrating my aunt's birthday. His mom also told me she respects my decision to get a divorce attorney, but that she will always love me like a daughter and will always be there for me if needed. I am going through with the divorce and am working closely with my lawyer. This will be the final post I make about this situation and appreciate everyone for supporting me. Thank you all.